Can I go to the next one is commonly called as secondary productivity. What are the definitions of secondary productivities mean? Productions of organic matter during secondary consumer per unit area or per given times. What is that? The key point of regarding what is secondary product mean? Productions of organic matter during secondary consumer per unit area per given time. During secondary productivity, some of the respiration is lost. Through respiration loss means some energy is lost. How much of energy can be lost in some kinds of organism like producers loss energy 10%, consumer loss energy 30%, decomposer lost the energy 60%. These are the things. The energy is lost during respiration is nothing but producer loss energy 10%, consumer loss regarding what the 30%, decomposer loss regarding what the 60%. The last one, community productivity. What are the definitions of community productivity? Productions of energy in group of plants per unit area per given time. Simply to say, community product is nothing but products of energy by the influence of group of plants for a given area at a given times. So next one can be classified as commonly called as decomposition. Decompositions to be predominantly involving in detritus. So what is the meaning of detritus? Nothing but dead plants and dead animals. So dead plants and dead animals by the influence of bacteria and fungi those are the down into grease to produce simple organic compounds. Resulting what will be formed is commonly called as a humus. So I am already telling about you, humus, it contains rich nutrient that is essential for regarding water plant growth. Do one thing, decomposition, it is essential for regarding water plants. Or decomposition is essential for ecosystem. Why decomposition is essential for ecosystem means ecosystem is the main thing regarding our nutrition. As well as recycling of nutrients. If the soil cannot maintain the nutrients, cannot recycling process is not accompanied, means ecosystem cannot be maintained, because all living organisms like plants, animals, bacteria and fungi, those are everything depending on some other organism for acquiring food. So there is no maintenance of nutrients, there is no recycling process, means ecosystem can be lost to production of energy. Okay. Next, decomposition can be classified regarding but two types of regarding but detritus. Namely, above the ground detritus, second one, below the ground detritus. So what is the meaning of above the ground? What is the detritus means commonly called as dead plant, animal, excreta and litters. So that kinds of substance it must be present regarding what above the ground. So what are the detritus it must be found above the ground is commonly called as dead plants, animals, excreta and litters. So those are all commonly called as examples of detritus. It's found regarding what above the ground. So what are the examples are regarding what detritus found regarding what below the ground? Because some of the detritus it can found below the soil. What are the examples called? Dead root components, then dead animals in the soil. So those two is nothing but types of detritus based on decompositions. Then next one we are going to like this, mechanism of decomposition. So what are the mechanisms that can be accompanied with the decompositions? The first one is called fragmentation. So what do you mean called fragment? A small piece. Who responsible make regarding what small piece? So mean like this. The largest detritus, it containing so many kinds of organic compounds. By the influence of bacteria and fungi, the larger detritus particles of plants and animal break down into small, simple organic and inorganic compounds are forming. So what is the meaning of fragment? The largest detritus is break down into small detritus. Small detritus by the influence of bacteria and fungi. So that's a commonly called as first mechanism of decomposition. The second one is a commonly called as catabolism. So what is the meaning of catabolism in breakdown? Which is responsible going to be breakdown by influence of bacteria and fungi. the influence of bacteria and fungi, larger organic compound break down into small organic and inorganic compounds. That is a commonly called as catabolism. Is also known as regarding what? Breakdown process. The third one, leaching. So what do we call leaching means? Water soluble substances formed during decompositions. Water soluble substances formed during decompositions. That the water soluble substances to reach in the soil water through percolates. So leaching is nothing but washing down of organic strata. This is the third one process. So next to go in the process commonly called as humidification and mineralization. So what do we call humus and minerals? Humus and minerals is a product of decompositions. So humus and minerals is a product of decompositions. So what do you mean commonly called first of all in humus? Humus is a nutrient compounds. So what are the definitions of humus mean? Formations of humus is commonly called as humidification. Called humidification. So humus is nothing but is a dark substances which is amorphous nature with rich nutrients and also water holding capacity. As well as good aeration takes place. This is the definition to be found in regarding water humus. So formations of humus is commonly humidification. It's a containing so many kinds of organic substances are there. Is amorphous nature, is rich in nutrients, water holding capacity, and good aeration takes place. So what are they called? Minerals. Some microbes separate inorganic compounds from humus. Some microbes separate inorganic compound from the humus is commonly called as minerals, or also called Formations of minerals or formations of inorganic compounds are called mineralization. The next will be commonly called as energy flow. What are definitions of energy flows mean? Transfer of energy in an ecosystem at various trophic level. You know what do you mean the trophic level means? Food energies occur in different kinds of level is a commonly called as trophic level. So what is the meaning of energy flow means? Transfer of energy in an ecosystem between the trophic level is commonly called as energy flow. The energy flow is always takes place unidirectional view. How means? First, the energy is derived from regarding what? Solar energy. Then carry out regarding what? Applied by regarding producers. Then consumers. Then tacanos. So energy flow is always takes place regarding what? Unidirectional view. Which is the good examples of energy flow is example commonly called as photosynthesis. How the definition give regarding what the photosynthesis mean? Photosynthesis is a carried out by solar energy is converted regarding what? A chemical energy. The next one I am going to discuss about laws of thermodynamics. So what are definitions of regarding what the thermodynamics? That means store or loss of energy in an ecosystem. Store or loss of energy in an ecosystem is a commonly called as thermodynamics. Based on store or loss of energy, the laws of thermodynamics can be classified as two laws. The first one, first law of thermodynamics. So what are the characteristic features of the first law of thermodynamics mean? Energy is cannot created or cannot destroy. Energy is cannot created or cannot destroy. The second aspect is commonly called as the first law of thermodynamics, commonly called as the energy is transferred from one tropic level to another level. During transmission, the energy is became transformed Transformed is nothing but change the energy. The third one character is commonly called as energy is constant. What are the very good examples of the first thermodynamics commonly called as photosynthesis? That means sun energy converted into chemical energy. This is the first law of regarding what the thermodynamics. Can I go to the second one is a commonly called as the second law of thermodynamics. What are the characteristics which is commonly means? The energy can be created as well as lost. Where the energy can be lost in commonly called as the transfer of energy from one tropical level to another tropical level. Some of the energy is lost in the form of heat. In the form of heat. What are the very good examples of second law of thermodynamics commonly called as 10% law? Can I go to the regarding 10% law? Ten-person law which can be proposed by layman when the era 1942. What are the definitions of 10% law means? The productions of whole energy, it can be transferred to successive tropical level. Each tropical level it can be stored 10% of energy. Remaining 90% of energy is dissipated. That means like this, 90% of energy is lost through in the form of heat. How it can be given? For example, is a producer. They can possess 1000 joule. These are producers. These are primary consumer. Here can I go regarding what? 1000 joule. The next one, secondary consumer. Go to 10 joule. The last one is called top converts. So 1 joule. So each level they can store the energy for only in 10%. For each successive level, 90% of energy is lost in the form of heat. Where? During respiration. That's why the second law of thermodynamics, the very good example is commonly called as 10% law. The next one topic is commonly called as tropic levels. So what are the definitions of tropic levels mean? The food it existing in which level for successive tropic. That is a commonly called as tropic level. The tropical level can be classified as T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. The number of steps be given you. What is the T1 is commonly called as producers. T2 is commonly called as primary consumers. T3 is commonly called as secondary consumers. T4 is commonly called as tertiary consumers. T5 is commonly called as top carnivores. T6 is commonly called as decomposers. This is nothing but tropical level. What is the definition of tropic level? The food it existing in which condition in successive tropic level can be denoted as a tropic level. There are 6 tropic levels given you, namely T1, T2, T3, T4, T5 and T6. T1 is a producer, T2 is a primary consumer, T3 is a secondary consumer, T4 is a tertiary consumer, T5 is a top carnivores, T6 is a garden decomposers. Okay, can I go to the next one? Is a commonly called as food chain. Food chain is nothing but is a linear reaction. The energy is transferred to each successive level look like linear manner. The energy is transferred from producers to top carnivores. So what? The energy is transferred from producer to regarding what top carnivores. Based on the transfer of regarding what food energy for successive level, food chain can be transferred regarding what to 3 types. Namely, parasitic food chain, second one gratuitous food chain, third one grazing food chain. So the food chain can be classified as 3 types based on transfer of energy from producer to top carnivores. They can be classified parasitic food chain, gratuitous food chain and a grazing food chain. Can I go to classify and record the first one only called as parasitic food chain. What does the parasitic food chain mean? The food chain can be stored from largest component to small components. Which is the largest component, which is going regarding what smallest component. How the graph that can be formed is commonly called as. The largest component is commonly called as tree, then birds, then parasites. So tree is a commonly called as larger component, parasite is commonly called as what smaller component. So to say parasitic food chain, it can be stored from larger component to smaller component. What is the flow of energy from tree, bird and the parasite? These are examples are commonly called as parasitic food chain. The second one, detritus food chain. That means among this type, which type which can be used to produce large amount of energy is only by recording of the detritus. Or simply to say, large amount of energy produced or obtained from detritus. What is the detritus? Dead plants and dead animals, litters. These are commonly called as examples of detritus. So what is the definition of detritus food chain? Among the different kinds of food chain, large amount of energy is derived or obtained from detritus is commonly called as detritus food chain. What is the example commonly called as dead plant, dead animal and litters? So which way going on the regarding food chain is commonly called as detritus, earthworm, frog, snake, then hawk. There is a transfer of energy from detritus to regarding what? Hawk. Can I go to the last one is commonly called as grassing food chain. The grassing food chain can start from green plants. That is a phenomenon. So grassing plant can start from green plants or green components. So the green components, it is are present both terrestrial as well as regarding water aquatic. So can I discover the first one? Terrestrial grazing food chain. What are terrestrial grazing food chain? What is it going to means? First of all, grass, then grasshopper, then frog, then snake, then hawk. So this is the grassing food chain in terrestrial. Can I go to the next one is commonly called as second one. Grassing food chain in aquatic, namely phytoplankton, then zooplankton, then small fishes, then larger fishes. This is nothing but grassing food chain in aquatic. This is nothing but grassing food chain in terrestrials.